May 28, 1971. A small private plane crashes into Brush Mountain, Virginia, killing everyone on board. One of the passengers is a 45-year-old man who's been mostly forgotten by America. A washed-up actor. But when the news breaks, something strange happens. Thousands of people flood Arlington National Cemetery for his funeral. World War II veterans, some who haven't cried in 30 years, break down sobbing. The president sends a personal message, and to this day, his grave is the second most visited in all of Arlington, right after John F. Kennedy. Who was this man? His name was Audie Murphy, and 26 years earlier, at age 19, he stood alone on a burning tank and stopped an entire Nazi army by himself. This is the story of how a starving orphan became America's deadliest weapon, and how the war he survived eventually killed him anyway. Audie Leon Murphy was born in 1925 in a Texas sharecropper's shack. So poor, it didn't even have doors, just rags hanging in the doorways. He was one of 12 kids. And let me tell you, this wasn't some romantic country life. This was grinding, soul-crushing poverty that most of us can't even imagine. By age 10, Audie was already a crack shot, hunting rabbits and squirrels to keep his brothers and sisters from starving. And here's where it gets dark. His father abandoned the family when Audie was just a teenager. Then, his mother died. At 16 years old, Audie Murphy was essentially an orphan, responsible for his younger siblings, with nothing but a 5th grade education and a hunting rifle. Most people would have been crushed by that weight. But Audie? He saw a way out. When Pearl Harbor was attacked, he saw his chance. He tried to lie about his age, forge his birth certificate, anything to get into the military. The Marines said no. The paratroopers said no. Finally, the Army infantry said, maybe. His sister had to sign a consent form because he was still underage. The recruiter looked at this baby-faced kid and probably thought he'd wash out in basic training. They had no idea what was coming. France, 1944. Private Audie Murphy lands with the 3rd Infantry Division, and something changes. That shy, soft-spoken kid from Texas becomes a stone-cold warrior. His first kill happened at Casablanca in North Africa. A German soldier appeared, and Audie froze. His friend died because of that hesitation. Audie swore it would never happen again, and it didn't. In the mountains of Italy, he took out 2 German machine gun nests by himself. In France, he killed 6 Nazi soldiers before breakfast. His commanders started calling him the greatest killer in US Army history, and he was still just 19 years old. But January 26, 1945, that's when Audie Murphy became immortal. Near the village of Holtzwihr, France, Audie's company was ambushed by 6 German tanks and 250 infantry soldiers. His men were falling back, wounded and dying. The Germans were advancing through the snow, and everything was chaos. Here's where it gets absolutely insane. Audie ordered his men to retreat to the woods. Then he climbed onto a burning M10 tank destroyer that could explode at any second, grabbed the .50 caliber machine gun, and called in artillery strikes on his own position. For an hour, standing completely exposed on that burning vehicle with ammunition exploding around him, Audie Murphy held off the entire German assault by himself. He was wounded in the leg. Didn't matter. The tank was literally on fire beneath him. Didn't matter. When he ran out of ammunition, he used his rifle. When asked later how many Germans he killed that day, he said he stopped counting at 50. The German advance was broken. His company was saved. And when the smoke cleared, Audie calmly climbed down from the burning tank, refused medical attention, and organized a counterattack. By the time he was 21, Audie Murphy had earned every Combat Valor Award the US military could give, including the Medal of Honor. He'd also earned 5 decorations from France and Belgium. He appeared on the cover of Life magazine, and Hollywood came calling. You'd think this is where the story gets happy, right? The war hero comes home, becomes a movie star, lives happily ever after? Wrong. Audie Murphy came home broken. What we now call PTSD, they called combat fatigue back then, and nobody knew how to treat it. He slept with a loaded pistol under his pillow every night. He couldn't hold down relationships. He had violent nightmares where he'd wake up fighting invisible enemies. He became addicted to sleeping pills just to get through the night. Here was America's most decorated soldier, playing himself in Hollywood movies about his own heroism, while secretly falling apart inside. He even went bankrupt from gambling debts, trying to fill some void that war had carved into his soul. But here's the thing about Audie Murphy. Even when he was broken, he fought back. He was one of the first celebrities to openly talk about PTSD, pushing for better treatment for veterans. He spoke out when nobody else would, trying to help the thousands of soldiers suffering in silence. On May 28, 1971, Audie Murphy died in a plane crash in Virginia. He was only 45 years old. More than 3,000 people attended his funeral at Arlington National Cemetery. And his grave remains the second most visited site there, right after President Kennedy's. But here's what really matters. That starving kid from Texas became the most decorated American combat soldier of World War II. He killed over 240 enemy soldiers, earned 33 awards and medals, and saved countless American lives. And when Hollywood tried to make a movie about his story, Audie had them tone it down. He said nobody would believe it. He was right. It's almost too incredible to be true. But it is true. Every word of it. That's the story of Audie Murphy, the boy who refused to quit, the soldier who couldn't be stopped, and the hero who never stopped fighting, even when his greatest battle was with himself.